From California to London, and somehow it's hotter here than in LA. Perhaps the Duke of Sussex is feeling the humidity too. You can see there's a flutter of activity because Prince Harry has just arrived and there he is going in. And there are really two battles here at play. There's one with the tabloid press and there's one with his family. And the two are inextricably linked. Here to promote the Invictus Games, but overshadowed by the breaking news that Prince Harry and 6 others have lost their case against the Daily Mail. More on that in a moment. No mention of the legal heat inside, instead breaking the ice with a joke about the aircon.
It is one of the few rooms or buildings, certainly this room, in the UK that has air conditioning, so I can understand why every seat is full. I get it.
Prince Harry had been seeking damages from the Daily Mail with 6 others, including Liz Hurley, Sir Elton John and David Furnish, and Baroness Lawrence, the mother of Stephen Lawrence. The Prince had claimed there were 14 articles in which illegal tactics were used to obtain stories by the Daily Mail. But a High Court judge scrutinising the details found there was insufficient evidence, or as he put it, even understandable suspicion is not proof. Today, the newspaper's publisher called it an overwhelming victory for the Daily Mail, and it's fair to say their editor-in-chief did not hold back.
There isn't a laundry in the cosmos big enough to wash all the dirty linen he has aired about his own family. For him to complain about his privacy being invaded takes not just the biscuit, but the whole tin. The truth is that this trumped-up action, which has cost well over £50 million and wasted a huge amount of valuable court time, should never have been brought to trial.
And to get the measure of just how bitter this battle has become on both sides, just listen to Prince Harry and Baroness Lawrence's statement. It is a complete and obvious whitewash, but sadly not altogether unexpected. However, the lengths to which the court has gone to exonerate the Mail is as shocking as it is totally unwarranted. Meanwhile, there was some speculation that Prince Harry would have to find an Airbnb or hotel after the King retracted his offer of staying at Buckingham Palace because it's understood his son didn't let him know in time. And let's be honest, it's hardly a humble abode. There are 775 rooms here at Buckingham Palace to choose from. But as one royal commentator put it, this is the seat of the British monarchy. It is not a Holiday Inn.
The problem is the family is also an institution. That's the lightning rod, that's the appeal, the way the two intersect. Harry left the institution and he remains with the family, which doesn't really function if you're outside the institution. That's what he's discovering. It's a bit like a case of computer says no. And from the outside, we think, but that looks a bit cruel and dysfunctional and you're meant to be our first family. Make it make sense, is what people think.
While Meghan and their 2 children haven't joined Prince Harry after their request for police protection was denied. Despite this, Prince Harry has hopes for a reconciliation with his father. King Charles has only met his granddaughter once.
Harry, how painful was it to lose against the Daily Mail?
Today's loss against the newspaper will be wounding for Harry, who has described his fight against the tabloids as his life's work.
Minnie Stevenson reporting. Well, the journalist and author Valentine Lowe was the royal correspondent for The Times from 2008 to 2023. I spoke to him earlier and asked what he thought about today's judgment.
It was almost predictable because I thought Harry's case against the Mail was pretty weak, except for 1 or 2 areas. There were 1 or 2 stories where you did wonder whether, how the Mail had got the information. But I went to court a couple of times and I saw the judge and he was clearly taking no nonsense from David Sherborne, Harry's barrister. But it's immensely damaging for Harry. He set great store by this. He has had this crusade against the media, and in a way he left the biggest one, the most important one, until last. So he obviously had a result against the Mirror. He'd won against the Mirror. He'd settled against the Sun. They'd paid him damages and given an apology. But this is a clear defeat for him. it will both cost him a huge amount of money, or whoever's backing him, but also it's a great blow to everything he believes in and stood for. Because, you know, whatever else you may say, he was utterly sincere in this battle against the tabloid media, and he will be crushed by this result.
As you say, it will cost him in many ways. It will cost him financially, presumably it will cost him emotionally, hugely, because this battle against the press has been visceral for him, hasn't it?
Absolutely visceral. I mean, you know, and it's entirely understandable in a sense because, you know, everything that happened to his mother, you know, had its roots in her relationship with the press and the pursuit by various branches of the media. And then his own personal experience, you know, having stories written about him the whole time.
I mean, the judge was very clear today, wasn't he, that the allegations were very serious, but the evidence presented by Prince Harry and others was just not convincing enough. I mean, is that damaging to Prince Harry's integrity, do you think?
The point about Harry is that he believed all this. So if he believes his friends aren't leaking, and he believes the only way the media can have got these various stories is by illegal methods, that's the fixed idea that it takes root in his mind.
And the last couple of weeks have been pretty difficult, haven't they? You know, with sort of, to many people, bizarre, actually, to and fro about whether he could stay at Buckingham Palace. The palace suggesting he didn't reply in time for the deadline needed to sort staff. I mean, there is speculation that because the king didn't want him to pursue this case, that's why that happened. Do you think that's true?
This seems to be just a terrible farcical catalogue of errors, miscommunication between the two sides, dithering by Harry about whether he wants to accept his father's invitation to stay at Buckingham Palace or not. I mean, this week had the promise to go well. It was almost like a reset, potentially, between Harry and at least his father. He was to come over here, he might see him, the kids might come over. But then after the news dropped about how the security would not be paid for by the British taxpayer, that all went south. So what potentially had the potential to go well has now gone disastrously wrong. This week has gone about as badly for Harry as it possibly could.
OK, Valentine Lowe, very good to speak to you. Thanks very much.
Thank you.